So we're heading to Alamo Lake State Park, Arizona. We got 30 some miles of desert road to drive through, very remote, no cell service, just to get to the state park. So we've arrived at Alamo Lake State Park. We've got a cabin reserved for a couple nights. So we arrived at our cabin here in Alamo Lake State Park, and we rented it for 2 nights. I think it was $75 a night. Our cabin's a burrow bungalow. There's burrow droppings behind the cabin there, so a lot of wild burrows walk through here. Bathrooms real close by, bathroom and showers. A lot of off-roading UTVs, side-by-sides, ATVs in this area, a lot of trails. So they have a series of 4 cabins here. So the lake's down this way. It was created in 1968 by the Corps of Engineers for flood control and recreation. It doesn't produce any electricity. This is our cabin. Got a little eating area here, air conditioning, and it's got 2 bunks. Bonnie's got it all set up for us. So Alamo Lake State Park here, we're down in the campgrounds down this area. There's several campgrounds. You've got full hookups to partial hookups to dry camping, plus these 4 cabins. And then there's all kinds of hundreds of miles of OHV trails for off-roading here. So we're heading down to an overlook, Bill Williams Overlook. Take a look at the lake. So this is the Bill Williams Overlook. Pretty view of the lake. So that's the dam there. Looks like it's a little low right now. Of course, they haven't had a whole lot of water or rain this year in Arizona. And during flood times, it's been known to rise 3 feet an hour. Can you imagine? Popular place. Set up the GoPro camera on the porch and did some star trails and sunrise. It's January 2nd, 2025, and we're at Alamo Lake State Park. And today we're going to go over and meet with a fellow Kawasaki owner, David Williams. He knows the area real well, and he's going to show us some trails to go take a look at. So we're meeting up with David Williams here. He's got a nice setup, 5th wheel, and he pulls his Kawasaki behind it, double toes. He's from Arizona and knows the area, been around here a lot. He's going to show us some pretty sights today. So there's several campgrounds in the state park, and very popular among the ATV side-by-sides because there's so many trails out here to hit. You see a lot of trailers camping out on BLM land with their side-by-sides. It was a very dusty ride that day. Got to see a stretch of Joshua trees. Kind of cool. It's dry now, but it's the Santa Maria River. Here's an old ranch down here. So this is a Palmerita Ranch. It was first settled by the Spanish back in 1840. It's since been turned over to the BLM government. We're riding out here. You can see the dust trails. We are out in the boonies. I can't imagine just bringing supplies out here to build this place. Man, it's been so peaceful living out here. Quiet, stars, wow. This thing hasn't been built onto. Looks like somebody was doing a little remodeling. Oh wow, look at that fireplace. Okay, it had electricity. That's interesting. That's the original adobe. And they made this addition here. How beautiful. Small doorways. You got a duct to get underneath there. That's cool. Look at that fireplace.
Wow.
And I put a new roof on it over the years. And see, the original one was adobe brick.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, that's old. So here's a sink and a shower, so they've had to have a pump to their well. Pump the water over here. Another adobe. I say another adobe brick, and then built onto over the years.
Wouldn't it have been interesting to see when it was...
Wow, look at the size of that tree there. It's been pretty out here in this day. So peaceful. Wow. Cool. We're earlier up on the lookout overlook area. So we entered into the Santa Maria River wash. Played around a little bit with the 360 camera. Interesting how this bus got here.
That's a 4-letter word.
I drive a school bus too, so this would be perfect.
I'll make you a deal on this one.
No idea they had so much dust.
It's like talcum powder. Wow.
I just took the same area.
So the bus was part of the Black Diamond mining camp, and after the dam was built, this whole area was flooded, so the bus was under the lake. And then as the water levels dropped, it is where it is today. Apparently an old mine. Oh yeah, there we go. This has been the processing plant. It's out in the middle of nowhere. Not sure what they mined here. Oh, we're starting to enter Maggie Slot Canyon. Pathway through the Slot Canyon was mostly sand, very smooth, not that many rocks. Oh, this is pretty. Yeah. Wow, this is a pretty flat canyon. Oh, I got out the instant 360 camera again and played around. It looks like Maggie Slot Canyon is about 3 miles long. Not sure the story on this old car or how it got there. So this is the old Venus McGuffie's miner's cabin. The lady built it back in 1945 for $1,000. I think several people have lived in it since she passed away over the years. Out here, it's interesting. Huh. Would have been quite the place.
Oh, wow.
This cabin is known as the Venus McGuffie's cabin. She was born in 1890 and came to the area in the 1930s. She bought the mine in the late 1930s and renamed it Sally Ann McGuffie Mine, but didn't build the house until 1945 at a cost of $1,000. The mine had 7 claims, producing gold, silver, copper, lead, and silica. Although she was married 4 times, she solely operated and owned the mine and built this cabin and dam behind it. Venus died in October 1983 in Wickenburg at the age of 93. Several people have lived here since Venus moved out, but it largely remains the same as it looked when she lived here, minus the outhouse, which was torn down by a off-roading group. Not sure where the mine is, but it must be close to the cabin there. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a dam there that she built. Coming back to the state park campground. David turned off into his campground and we continued on to our cabin. A little dusty. All right, well, we made it back to the campground. Did 74.1 miles. Thanks to David Williams. He did a good job of leading us on some beautiful trails. So we left the state park campground, headed out through the desert. Our first stop was an overlook, and then we stopped at the Palmerita Old Ranch. Continued down through the different washes and stopped to look at the old bus that was underwater at one time. An old mine. Continued, then we went through the Maggie Slot Canyon, beautiful slot canyon. Headed over to the old miner's cabin, McGuffie's miner's cabin, and then backtracked back through by the bus and headed back to the campground. We did a total of 74 miles.